Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome back to another episode of the O-Cast with me, your boy O. In this episode right here, we're going to recap Game 2 of the WNBA Finals last night on ESPN primetime television. The Liberty came into the game down 0-1 after pretty good beat down from Game 1. And I fully expected the Liberty to play better in Game 2, but I was mistaken. Um, the Aces they literally came out and put their foot on the Liberty's neck from the jump. From the jump. Um, Kelsey Plum started it off with a step back, well, one dribble step back three, and it was clean. Oof. Then after that, nice team ball rotation, possession by the Aces, ended up with an open corner three for their forward Stokes, who I believe that was what she doesn't really shoot threes like that, but she shot it, took it with confidence, wide open, nothing but net. And I believe that right there, the Aces clearly just started the game with way more energy than the Liberty. Way more energy. In my opinion, they're already just it's just a clear athleticism gap between the two teams. Really, mainly kind of really Kelsey Plum and Jackie Young. Like, I'm gonna get further into that, but yeah, like I said, I already dove right into it. For real, for real. It was a dominating game. It was a dominating performance. This finals is starting to look like the NBA finals with Denver over Miami, into where the Aces is just a better team. The only difference is nobody expected the Miami Heat to make it to the NBA finals. They won upset after upset after upset in each round to make it to the finals. With the Liberty, I believe everybody in the WNBA community who watches, faithfully all season has expected this to be the finals matchup. These were the best two teams all season. In fact, they matched up, and the Liberty won two times. Well, really three, including the Commissioner's Cup game. So for the Aces to be dominating them this way in the finals is really surprising, even for somebody like me who, like I said, this is my first experience really watching the WNBA finals and the playoffs. Well, I didn't watch the playoffs. I watched the first round with the Dream against the Dallas Wings when we got knocked out, so I didn't really pick back up until game one of the WNBA finals. But with that being said, like I mentioned in the game one reaction video, I know Stewie and Sabrina Ionescu are good. Like, not good, are great players. I know they are buckets. And I know Stewie is the reigning MVP. And I know this probably ain't the first time she won MVP. And I know she's won a championship and finals MVP. Like, she's a basketball star who will definitely end up being in the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame. But if I didn't know that, I feel like if I didn't know that she was that talented, like she wasn't if I didn't know she was that decorated already, watching the game, you would think that the Liberty don't belong on the floor with the Aces. Like, they are stacked. And to mention, I forgot, they don't even have Candace Parker right now, and because she's hurt. Like, if they had Candace Parker on the floor, man, that kind of wouldn't even be fair. Because you know what type of player Candace Parker is, and to have her and Asia Wilson, that's scary. That's scary. For real, like for real. But to get into the numbers, Asia Wilson, she really had a dominant performance. She started out the game really imposing her dominance. I feel like Jonquel, and I want to apologize in the game one reaction, I call her Jonas Jones. Now her name is Jonquel Jones. Jonas is the last name of the 3-point shooter for the Liberty off the bench. But Jonquel Jones, I feel like she's a good big for the Liberty, 22 points, 10 boards. But without her in the game, they can't really rebound. And she can't defend Asia Wilson. She's too slow on her feet. But she's clearly too big, not too big, but she can use that big body to dominate in the paint and get a lot of offensive rebounds. If anything, that is some type of positive for the Liberty is they won the offensive boards. And that's something that they can hang their hat on when they go back home to Brooklyn, because I know they play in Barclays, um, to hang their hats on really attacking the offensive glass and focus on getting second chance points, because that 3-point shot is not working, and they're a 3-point shooting team. They went 8 for 35 for three, and did not shoot very well at the free throw line. On the contrary, they shot more threes than the Aces, but the Aces had a better percentage and made more threes, and 13 for 29. And they also got to the paint. I mean, they also got they got to the line, and they were 17 for 17 from the free throw line without a miss. They also dominated tremendously on the fast break points, 11 to 3. Other than that, the Liberty, if you look at the stats, it looks like the game was even, but that was kind of like maybe towards the end when the Aces really subbed their whole team out at the beginning of the fourth, well, halfway through the fourth. They took Asia out at the beginning of the fourth or whatnot, but like I'm saying, that the Aces just came out dominating too soon. They hopped out on too big of a lead. They ended the first quarter on a 38-19 lead. Now, the Liberty did win the second quarter, 25-14. They did, but they were down by so much and crawling to come back that even though they won that second quarter, they were still down by almost 10 points in the first half. And third quarter, Aces came out smoking to start the second half the same way they did to start the game. And they won that quarter 20-13, and then the rest was history. Like, Sabrina Ionescu was really an afterthought. She's really like a non-factor. She finally made a three, and I think she made another one. I think she was 1 for 5, 10 points, 3 assists, 4 rebounds. Like I feel like she's a scorer. If she's not being able to attack the other team's guards on the perimeter, which then opens up lanes for Breonna Stewart to drive and to create what she's capable of doing, and then also opening up the paint for Jonquel Jones to just be down there by herself dominating, then it really messes up the flow of the team. It just was really difficult. It seemed like every possession it was hard for the Liberty to score. And there are other players, because it's not just them two, Stewie and Sabrina. They have great players also in their starting lineup as well, who apparently are legends. It's just not having a good game. They're not being able to shoot. I feel like that pressure of the Aces is too much for the Liberty. The Aces, the guards, man, again, dominated the game. Chelsea Gray, I see what they call her point guard. Like, Shawty is really aggressive when it comes to setting up her teammates with great passes. Entry passes down to the post, swinging it to the corner, no-look passes, entry passes, like pushing the fast break, hitting them with the crisp pass, throw the ball forward, bring it back, and then hitting it with the one-handed pass underneath, looking like LaMelo. Like, Shawty is good. She got sauce. And she was hitting some step-back jumpers. I like how she was going to her spots. I could tell the elbow. She likes that mid-range elbow shot. And Jackie Young, like I said, bucket, aggressive. And to me, she had a quiet game. I felt like Kelsey Plum's plays every time Kelsey Plum made a play, it was impactful. Like to start the game, that one dribble step back three. Like we coming like that. And then for her to just be moving so much, 1-3 she got, it was a loose ball rebound by Asia, and she was really almost falling out of bounds, and nobody was moving. And then all of a sudden, Kelsey, she cut to the right wing for the open pass by Asia, knockdown. Like, she was active. Then she gets a steal on the inbound pass on the last play of halftime. Like, for her to be the smallest person on the court, well, her and Jackie Young, I don't know, they both kind of like the same height. But for them two to be the smallest two on the court and to be that active and to be that aggressive and to have that type of dominant impact on the game is really, really, really impressive. Really, really impressive. Like, I wasn't familiar with Kelsey Plum, Chelsea Gray, and Jackie Young. And I'm definitely familiar with them now. And hopefully the rest of the world who's tuning in to the WNBA finals is aware too. It was a very dominating game. The Liberty, like I said, look like they don't belong on the floor, but I know that they do, and I'm pretty sure everyone out there does as well. So game 3 should be a better game. Sabrina has to get going. Stewie cannot do it by herself. I don't think Stewie is athletic enough or that talented off the dribble to be able to dominate that way scoring. I think she needs more team movement and the other pieces to be threats for her to be able to get open lanes or for her to be able to pump fake and drive, more fundamental type moves versus her just bopping somebody off the dribble because the paint clogged up because nobody worried about other players shooting because they shots dead. Yeah, so hopefully it's a better game in game 3. But if not, then the Aces will become the first team in WNBA history to sweep the whole playoffs, go 8-0. And they looking like they probably going to do it. And honestly, that may be why the Liberty are just so outmatched right now, because even though they played in the regular season so many times, the Aces are just hitting on all cylinders. They came in the playoffs hitting, smoking like they're not playing no games. They look focused on this repeat, and it looks like they're going to get it. Even if the Liberty somehow win the game 3, I don't see them being able to come back and win 3 straight against the Aces. Because if they have to come back to Vegas for game 5, I don't see that happening. I really don't. Now, hey, like to say the NBA series doesn't start until home team loses on the court. But in this situation, it looks like home team losing on the court may be the last game of the season with the Aces holding up another title. Wow. I'm really impressed, man. I hope you all too. Let me know how you enjoyed the game if you watched the game. Game 3 is this Sunday at 3 o'clock. Again, game 3 of the WNBA Finals, a possible closeout game, championship clinching game, is on Sunday at 3 o'clock. I'm disappointed because I actually want to watch. And I hope more people are disappointed because it's like, bruh, I'm not finna pick football. I'm not finna not watch the Falcons. So when I do tune into the game, it's going to be the second half. Like I said in the first video, the first game 1 reaction, look, I don't want to speak too much on it. I don't know behind the scenes. It may be a reason why they have to take that slot. I just hope in the future they don't do that anymore. You're limiting the vision, or you're limiting the exposure of your players, and they need that exposure. That's how the league is going to make more money. That's how they're going to make more money. That's how they're going to get more endorsements. It's just all around, just not, in my opinion, a good idea. But hey, I'm not the one calling the shots, but I strongly encourage, if you have a DVR, to record it, or if your football team is playing an early game at 1 o'clock, when that game is over, I strongly encourage you, man, to click over to ABC Sunday after the game and watch the remaining game of the WNBA Finals. If you're not into football, then great. Tune in right away. Watch it. 3 o'clock Sunday, ABC. This has been another episode of the O-Cast with me, your boy O.